welcome back to my channel. My name is Pam and today's video is going to be all the big books that I have physically on my TBR that could possibly be an option for my 2020 reading goal of reading one big book per month. I think that's clear. So in my 2020 reading goals video, I told you that I would make a video about all the big books that I could possibly read for that challenge. So I have a challenge of reading one big book per month, and that means a book over 500 pages. And so I went through my physical TBR and I picked out all the books that could possibly be an option for me for a month, for each month, basically. I have more than 12 books, so some of them are not going to be read next year. So, yeah. Let's get started. So first of all, it's a fantasy series that is well known and well loved here on BookTube, and that is the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. So I have all of the first three books in the series in mass market paperback. I don't really like those covers, but whatever. I have them, and they're all over 500 pages. All I know about this series is that is an epic fantasy series, and basically the magic system is what is making this series so cool. You can have like magical powers by ingesting metals. That sounds so cool. And if you can ingest all the metals, if you're able to do that, you're considered a Mistborn. In this world, the bad guy won. So yeah, it's really rare that we see like the bad guys winning. Like, it's pretty rare to see that. So it's really interesting. I'm really interested. I have this on my TBR for quite a while. So yeah. Really excited. They're all over 500 pages, so they could be an option. Next is another series that is well known, another epic fantasy, and that is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. The first and the third book are over 500 pages. The second one doesn't count, so yeah. But I read The Hobbit this year, like not too long ago. I really, really enjoyed it. So I am planning to read the Lord of the Rings series next year in 2020. I'm really excited. I have those books again for the longest on my TBR, so I want to read them. And yeah, they are over 500 pages, so really excited. Yeah. Next is a book that I heard just a great thing about, and that is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is a fantasy series about a group of friends that are thieves, and it's about this big heist. That's all I know, and that's all I want to know. This is a book over 500 pages, so that could be possibly an option for me. Next is a sci-fi, an adult sci-fi, and that is Seven Eves. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Seven Eves by Neil Stephenson. This is an adult sci-fi. All I know about this is that the moon explode. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. This is a chunk. This is a big book. And yeah, I'm really excited to read that one. Yeah. The next two are part of a series that I started this year, and they are all over 500 pages. So yeah, and that is the fourth and the fifth book of the Game of Thrones series, A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons. So yeah, they're big, okay? They're big, like they're bigger than my head. But I love this series so damn much, and yeah, I know I'm gonna continue it in 2020 for sure. I want to be up to date for the upcoming 6th book that We don't know when it's gonna come out, but yeah, I want to read those two for sure in 2020. Like, some of these books that I'm showing to you are options. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be reading them, and some I know for sure I'm gonna read them. Like the next two books in the Game of Thrones series, the fourth and the fifth one, and also this one over here. Let me grab it. The Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. So yeah, I'm gonna put them over here. One of my goals for 2020 is to read the Heroes of Olympus, and they're all over 500 pages. So that means like 5 months it's gonna be completed with all of them. So that's pretty great for that. Really happy. Yeah, so for sure I'm gonna read them in 2020. I'm really excited. I love Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson is one of my favorite series of all time. I love it so much. So I can't wait to read The Heroes of Olympus. I think The Lost Hero might be the first book that I'm gonna read in 2020. So on January 1st, I might read that one. Pretty positive it's gonna be that one that I'm gonna start with because I'm so excited. So excited. Also, in 2020, one of my reading goals is to read the Throne of Glass series, and it's really great that 4 of those books are over 500 pages. So yeah, so we have the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth books that are all over 500 pages. So that's great. Another 4 months cleared for my big book challenge. So yeah, I have like 9 months cleared. Well, actually, if we count A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons, I have 11 months filled already. Yeah, but that will not stop me if I want to read more than 1 big book per month. I can. Like, I'm not restricting myself of, okay, I read like my big book of the month and then whatever, I don't care, I'm not reading another one. No, I can't. So yeah, so all of them are 500 pages. Next is a book that I don't know a lot about, but all I know is that it's over 500 pages, and it's really close to 500 pages. So it's not like 900 pages, which is great. And that is Replica by Lauren Oliver. As you can tell, I got it for like pretty cheap at Indigo. Oh, it's so satisfying. Woo! Great. Yeah. All I know about this book is that it's the same story told in 2 perspectives, from Lara and from Gemma. And like the middle of the book, it switches of perspective. Like you switch. So yeah. So over here it's Gemma's perspective, and over here it's Lara perspective. You have to flip it up and start. Yeah. Which is really interesting. Yeah, I'm really intrigued about this one. And also the cover is absolutely like beautiful. So yeah, another book that I'm really intrigued about because I really love this author's first book. And yeah, so that is Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. I love The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I absolutely love this book. It's really short compared to this one. This one is a chunk. And the other one is like, The Perks of Being a Wallflower is a coming of age story about a young boy in freshman year in high school. And this one is an horror book. I don't read horror. I don't watch horror movies either. Yeah, I just don't. But I'm intrigued. And I bought this book pretty much because of Stephen Chbosky. Like, that's it. This is over 500 pages. Again, it's a pretty big book. 705 pages. Pretty big book. Next is the second book in a series that I started this year. I read the first book and I absolutely loved it, and that is Lair of Dreams by Libra Bray. I read The Diviners. I read The Diviners, the first book in the series, earlier this year. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on this series next year for sure. That's it. That's one of the options also that I have. And the last book is a well-known and prized book, and that is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This is a coming-of-age story about a young boy that lost his mother in a car accident. It's about him and his life and how he grew up as normal as possible. And I know it's considered literary fiction. And it's an adult, and it's a big book, and yeah, I might not read it. I might read it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not as excited as I am for this book as other ones that I present to you, but still, it's still my TBR. It's still over 500 pages, so that could be an option. So this is it, guys. This is all the big books that I have as an option for my big book reading challenge for 2020. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have read one of those books and you want to let me know which one I should read first, let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!